हरि ओम् अविद्यायाम् अन्तरे वर्तमान स्वयं धीरा पंडितं मन्यमान जङ्घन्यमाना पर्यन्ति मूढा अन्धेनैव नियमाना यथान्धा. The very scheme of these few mantras is to laugh at and ridicule the fanatical ritual mongers with a view to win them over to greater and higher levels of meditation and self-discovery. These ritualists, as it were, with their half-baked bookish knowledge of the full Vedas, fancy themselves as men of learning and lead the masses like a blind leading the blind. They promise that if the Vedic injunctions of these rituals are faithfully followed, you are guaranteed of a heaven. The pleasures of the like is incomparable. Thus, they delude the masses who look upon them as their gurus. These stanzas of the mantras of this Upanishad is so powerful that you will find that these mantras have been almost verbatim repeated in Kathopanishad as well as in Brihadaranya Upanishad. There are also two other important Upanishads. These two Upanishads also you find these mantras. Not only that, Bhagavad Gita being an essence of Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita also you find references to these mantras, and the Gita Acharya cautions us against this type of half-baked people who give flowery speeches. I think in the second stanza, if you have time, you refer to stanza, I think 42, 43 and 44 of the second chapter, where it is stated that Yamimam pushpidam vaja parvadanta vivaschita vedavadaradah partha nyanyadastidi vadina. That you find three stanzas. This is what I chanted now is the 42nd stanza. 43 also is there. Kamatmana Swargavara Janmakarma Phalaprada. And 44 also Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktana. So these are very, very important stanzas. The gist of it is that full of desires, having heaven as their goal, these pandits, half-baked pandits, they utter flowery words which promise new birth as a reward of their actions and prescribe various specific actions for attainment of that pleasure and lordship for infinitesimal period of time in your total life. Vyasa, we must understand, was one of the first daring revolutionaries in Hinduism who came up to win back the Hindu culture from the forces of decadence into which it has fallen. And naturally, therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, he makes a direct attack on the then existing vulgarities and misconceptions as these. And in these three stanzas of Bhagavad Gita, we find a daring, almost outrageous satire and open criticism of the extravagant indulgence in the elaborate ritualism which has become at the time of Mahabharata all show and no spirituality. So these stanzas are very, very important of these Upanishads are very, very important. And the impressive comparison used here by the rishis has become has become proverbial, and it is very often used in criticizing smaller pandits who take upon themselves the self-imposed duty of guiding the society. You will find this utterance in the Bible also. If the blind leads the blind, then both shall fall into the ditch. Any amount of knowledge cannot make one a true Vidwan unless he comes to live the spirit of renunciation as prescribed in the Upanishads. Now here, for an ardent student, a doubt might arise because in the earlier part of the Upanishads or Vedas, not Upanishads, earlier part of the Vedas, in Karmakanda, Veda is divided into two. One is Karmakanda, the other is Jnanakanda. So in the Karmakanda, no doubt, the Yajnas and Yagas are advocated loudly. But in the later part of the Vedas, the Jnanakanda, this type of stanzas, as in this Upanishad, is found vehemently condemning the rituals. It may appear to be a palpable contradiction to an initial student of Upanishads, but it is not. Whenever son or grandson is in an elementary school, we force him with multiplication tables daily to be chanted along with his Sandhya Namam. Those days, it is truly a Bible to him. These multiplication tables are so sacrosanct. They have competitions in multiplication table. They try to learn it by heart. It's almost a Bible for them. But to insist that the child should daily practice his multiplication table, even when he is a postgraduate student in mathematics, is indeed foolish. It will be a futile exercise and colossal waste of time. The master of the Upanishad is only cautioning us against this futile ritualistic practices if you are initiated into the path of self discovery and not get caught in the mid stations and waste your time there.